What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Figure It Out of the Basement's Black Series Talk Show. I'm Nate, joined with Justin.
What's up, guys?
And today we're going to be talking about the upcoming Black Series vehicles and what that means for the future of the Black Series.
Very, very true, Nate. We've had some little birdies, some grapevines, if you will, chirping in our ear and some other people's ears. So it's time to just make this topic a video, a whole video. So hit like, subscribe if you're new. We're always talking about the Black Series here on the channel. And like Nate said, we're going to be talking about how these two releases could literally change the Black Series forever. Let's rewind the clocks back a little bit. Let's take a look back at the previous situation with Black Series scale vehicles. They all peg-warmed, and they all went on heavy clearance.
100%. Every single one of them, from the TIE Fighter to the Snowspeeder, they all went on deep discount. I remember seeing the Snowspeeder, $60.
Right, and for something that was originally priced at $120, and allegedly, according to some little birdies and grapevines in the manufacturing side of things, they allegedly lost money on every single sale of the Snowspeeder, even at full price. Something about retailers not holding it if it's past a certain threshold or whatever. I do not know the full details, but allegedly that's something that was a thing. These vehicles, though, Nate, were like red and black box time. You know, these were like before 2020, before what we consider the golden age.
Yep. Some decent choices in there, like Luke's Landspeeder always sticks out. The Dewback sticks out in my mind.
Oh, yeah.
But there were also some real head scratchers, though. Obviously, there was a lot of sequel trilogy stuff, as those were the movies that were coming out. And, you know, I just feel like, despite how you feel, you know, the fact is they peg-warmed. I mean, even the original trilogy stuff peg-warmed too. So it's really hard to say, like, what the true reason behind every single one of them peg-warming is. Because it's not that it was all sequel trilogy. It's not that it was all original trilogy. Like, there was an okay mix at first.
Right. So this is what, of course, led to the Hasbro Star Wars team pretty much killing the vehicle line. But this was before COVID. This was before the surge of collectors, and they didn't do any prequel stuff. And, you know, if you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you know, for years and years we've been saying, hey, you know, millennials, Gen Z, Gen Xers who enjoy the prequels, and above, you know, older people who just enjoy the prequels, like us millennials, you know, we're older, we're at that age where we have some disposable income, and we're ready to spend money on, like, prequel stuff, like the stuff that we're super nostalgic about. But up until this point, recently, with the Bloodfin, and then, of course, the Stap, the vehicle line has pretty much been dead. But we've had some grapevines and some little birdies. I really don't want to get into any specifics with that. Don't want to shed light on where this information is coming from. So I get that we're just two guys yapping here.
Yeah.
But source, trust me, bro. These two vehicles, mainly the Bloodfin is what we heard this with, but I'm sure the Stap as well.
Yeah.
They are con exclusives for a reason. The Bloodfin being they sold a little bit at SDCC, and then they're going to go up on Hasbro Pulse on August 5th, allegedly. And then this Stap is Hasbro PulseCon exclusive, so it'll be on Hasbro Pulse. It's there for a reason. Apparently, Hasbro is not ready to have vehicles return to big box retail. It's pretty much confirmed that they are testing the waters with these two releases. They're dipping their toes back in, Nate.
Yeah, and it makes sense. It's also great to start with some smaller vehicles as well. A lot of the vehicles from the original run are huge. The TIE Fighter, huge. Enfys Nest's swoop bike is like super long.
Yeah.
You know, obviously the Snowspeeder, while it's great, pretty big.
Yeah.
Pretty big.
Yeah.
So it's nice that they're, clearly they're dipping their toes in. Smaller vehicle choice, lower print run because it's a convention exclusive, so they're going to make fewer of them, so it's a little bit less of a risk. But I think the choices are great, though.
Prequel stuff.
Right, finally giving prequel fans a chance. And just like we were talking about on this past week's Lazy Sunday live stream, we were locking in the Stap as like, that's going to be the next vehicle that we want to see in the blacks, and then here it is.
Yeah, and then it happened. I was like, mind blown. And it's also a vehicle that lends itself a little bit of pre-use, because they can obviously do like a Clone Wars version where it's like the blue and silver color scheme,
right,
and stuff like that. So there's other repaints. I mean, they might even do a mainline Stat just in like a big Phantom Menace Galaxy packaging, like the new boxes.
They could.
I'm down.
I feel like the Stap is, a decent size, but if you put it, put the Stap right next to the battle droid in a box, it could fit in like a Droideka size box, like nothing too crazy.
Yeah, so again, we do have it on Trust Me Bro authority that this is a trial run to gauge demand for vehicles. So really the whole point of this video is kind of reiterating what we've always talked about, and that is, if you want to see more of something, you have to support the things you like.
Right.
So I'm not saying be a blind consumerist and just consume, because everyone wants the Bloodfin. Everyone wants a Stap.
Yep.
And if you're able to, I think this would be a really good idea for us as a community to support these releases. Again, trust me, bro. This is a trial run. This is a toe dipper.
Yep.
As the community, we really need to show up for these, and this can truly change the course of the line, because we got a little bit more information as well from good old Trust Me Bro. And
I like it.
And that is a couple of ideas that are not official at all. 100% not concrete. I am not putting this rumor out there. This is not a rumor, but we do know that some ideas have been floating around the Hasbro Star Wars offices and brainstorming, and we do know a couple of things have been pitched, and they're amazing. One of which is the Bark Speeder. Commander Neo on the Bark Speeder, maybe, Nate?
Could you imagine, Justin, the first potential checkmate to Vales?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot. They literally did Neo.
Yeah.
So Hasbro has to clap back with Neo on the Bark Speeder. But yes, the Bark Speeder has been pitched, and that idea has been floating around the old Hasbro HQ. So again, prequel vehicle. I really hope that's a continued theme, because I truly think prequel fans are going to show up for this sort of stuff. And then also the AT-RT is another idea that has been unofficially, trust me bro, due to source, floating around the office.
These are perfectly sized vehicles, not too small, not too big.
Exactly.
They're going to be able to work well with pretty much anyone's display, so great choices. I think, like we always talk about, giving prequel fans a chance. These are no-brainers, in my opinion. These are going to be easy ones that I think will sell well, no problem.
Yeah, absolutely. It's undeniably a good idea. I don't see how you could perceive it as a bad idea. And I don't think the Bloodfin will have any issue selling out.
Yeah, especially now with Hasbro really like taking back the quantities of just every figure that they're making.
Yeah, and that's the toy industry in general, because I know McFarlane, their quantities are going down as well. It's just that initial surge of COVID is kind of dropping off. It's still more than before.
Right.
It's just probably not as much as like 2020, 2021, 22. So the quantities across the board, I think companies have been making this adjustment.
Right. So I think you're right. I think the Bloodfin will probably go pretty quick, but I do hope that there's at least enough for everyone to get one.
Right.
I hope there's not too few, like a certain 2-pack
Yeah. Which hopefully the Yoda and Gree set goes back up.
Right.
The Stap, I think, will be more plentiful than the Bloodfin.
For sure.
And for $50, I'm getting 2. I didn't really get to talk about my thoughts on all the SDCCC.
Mm-hmm.
I had a ICCCCC moment there.
ISDCCCC.
I didn't get to talk about the reveals because I was gone on my trip, but the Stap is amazing. $50 a pop. I was seeing some, are they crazy? I'm like, you realize the figure's 25.
All right. Figure's 25.
We never account for the figure. I've noticed with like Black Series comments, like you have to account for the $25 figure that's in the set.
Mm-hmm.
$50 is great. I'm in for 2, and I'm supporting this.
Yep.
And it's not like I'm reluctant, but I got to do it for the good of the line. No, if I don't want it, I'm not buying it. I want this, and I'm buying 2. You in for 2?
Oh, 100%. You got to get 2. It's going to look weird to just have one Stap on the shelf, and like you said, with it being a PulseCon exclusive, I mean, we were all freaking out last year about Star Killer, and that was a breeze.
Yeah.
And then it even went on sale. So let's support this, and everyone get 2, so then that way it sells out and it doesn't go on sale, because that just sent a message to Hasbro that we don't want, figures with more accessories and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I always feel weird about, like, you should go out and support this, because they are a multi-billion-dollar corporation. They do not
100%.
need your money, but since we have this added context of we know that this is a trial run, it has been described as a trial run to gauge interest for more vehicles. The fact that I even know that's a thing in the first place, I'm like, I'm going to get 2 Staps. I was going to get 2 anyway, but since we have that added context, I kind of want to hit the nail on the head here that we have the opportunity as a community to change this line in our favor. Generally speaking, supply and demand. The market is dictated by what sells and what sits. There's a little bit of a wrench in that gear because they're licensed, so they have like Lucasfilm, Disney telling them X% what they can do. But when it comes to things like this, we gotta show up as a community. And like we said, Bark Speeder and ATRT are in the conversation. They're floating around the offices. So I just think we have a golden opportunity here to change the line.
Yep. Bring vehicles back. Bring some smaller scale vehicles into the line. We've had the Imperial Speeder for a long time.
And they repainted that.
Which was always popular. It's always been a set that goes immediately in all the different colors that it's come out in. So it's great to see them coming back to potentially doing another speeder that also has tons of repaint potential as well. So we're here, Justin. Prequel fans, we're finally getting our chance. So let's not blow it.
Yeah. And we also know that Hasbro is actually more aware of our wants than maybe we initially thought. Shout out to Gyros in the Discord, who, this is a verified thing, this really did happen, but he was chatting with a certain member of the Star Wars brand team. Don't want to say exactly who it is, but we love them.
True.
We are fans of them.
Probably our fave.
And they did confirm that they watch out of the basement. And even further, we got some further information on that. They look at stuff like our top 10s, like our wish lists, and their little marketing analytical teams look at the comments, and they look at which comments are getting the most likes, which, like, I figured this stuff was happening behind the scenes, because obviously Hasbro, mega corporation, I mean, they have probably entire teams dedicated to, like, analyzing the market. So, like, I kind of knew this was happening behind the scenes, but the fact that it was, like, us specifically, and a few other people were mentioned, like, Mike Case, Luke Monster, Landspeeder Luke. So, not to get some super big ego, of course. Don't want to get too big-headed here.
Speak for yourself, Justin.
But I almost think the Black Series community of creators might have a little more influence than what I initially thought. If you think about it, Nate, Lukeness Monster, Fives happened. He campaigned so hard for Fives, it happened. Savage Opress won his March Madness bracket. Savage is coming out. Savage is also on everybody's top 10. So I feel like maybe they really do watch these wish lists and they look at the comments and they're calculating all the top comments or which ones are getting the most likes compared to other comments, etc., etc. I mean, we campaigned pretty hard for the Super Battle Droid.
It might have taken 7 years, but it did happen.
And the Super Battle Droid is common sense, so obviously we're not going to take credit for that. I mean, it's like common sense.
We're taking credit for it.
Yeah, matter of fact, you're welcome.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
That was one. No one else thought of the Super Battle Droid before us.
I hope people don't take this the wrong way, but this person did specifically mention that they watch our content and specifically like read all the comments and like tally up like the top comments and the amount of likes and everything. That is what they said. I can't help that they said that.
That's true.
So I think we do have some listening going on, and clearly we do. All the more prequel stuff that we've been getting, the EU Legends and gaming, like deep cut gaming stuff, like I think they're clearly listening. I think 2023, 2024, like I think it's getting better and better, honestly.
Yeah, it definitely feels like we're on an uptick right now. Despite what, a lot of people may think, I think when you actually look at the line and look at the direction that it's going, I think we are going up. We are going into a new era, potentially, where we're going to be seeing vehicles again. We're going to be seeing tons of more prequel and Clone Wars representation. And that's just going to open another can of worms that I feel like we've just dreamed about since the line began.
We're literally getting, we've gotten Joruus Sabayoth, Prince Xizor.
I say
Shizor?
Yeah.
Never thought we'd get a figure of that dude.
Yep. And, with something like that confirms, we'll definitely see, like, Dash Rendar. You're not going to do the villain of Shadows of the Empire without the main hero of Shadows of the Empire.
Character selection is doing wonders right now. They're redoing some of the main heroes with Luke and Leia. We're getting a Hammerhead later. Like, I'm feeling really, really good about this line right now. And again, the main point of this video is we got to support those vehicles. I mean, guys, the vehicle line was dead because they all peg-warmed, went to clearance. But that was before COVID. It was mostly OT and ST. We're back here, 2024. We're doing prequel vehicles. And I truly hope the community shows up and sends that message to this company that we want more of that. And we'll get that Bark Speeder, and we'll get that ATRT.
And so that's all we have for you on this week's episode of Figure It Out. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you are new. We're always talking about the Black Series here on the channel. If you are in a position to help support us directly, we do also offer a couple different channel membership tiers. Check those out in the description down below. And also while you're there, click the link to join the Discord. That is free. Great way to get connected with the community and talk about all sorts of figgies across the board.
Absolutely. We're growing. We're at 1,400 people in there.
Big shout out and special thank you to all of our current channel members, though. Your continued support is truly appreciated. And thank you to everyone else out there for watching. I'm Nate. I've been joined with Justin.
See you guys later.
And we will see you all next time on Out of the Basement.
By the way, did anyone notice my super cloner shirt?
ultimate cloner.
This is the #1 cloner shirt I've ever seen in my life. Found it at my new Ross that just opened up in my town. Epic.
Star Wars with the clone trooper.